Live from the parking lot of Sprouts Farmers
so
Market.
Pitiful. It must be Sprouts Tuesday.
It must be. Who is that? It is Sprouts Tuesday, and we're like 1 minute early for a change. But Constance.
No, just don't forget.
Anyway.
Lon has something to do this morning, too.
I do have something to do
with the tarot deck.
This morning, and I got a tarot deck with me. But look who's here. And you had something. Oh, well.
First I wanted to say it's Sprouts Tuesday. And I want to talk about vegetables because we just got over a period of time when the vegetables were, because of extremes in weather due to the climate crisis. I don't want to become extinct. That the vegetables were damaged partially in stores because of high winds and too much rain and too much cold. And we've gotten a brief period of respite from that. And now this week it's going to go up again. And the vegetables will be damaged from too much wind, extreme heat, and dryness. So, the farmers don't know what to do.
And the grocery prices are...
Yeah, anyway, let's whine about grocery prices. But I want to thank all the farmers who work so hard to bring the food to us when it's difficult, and the essential workers, the grocery store people who do the shelving and check out and all that kind of stuff. And we shop at the Co-op, which is a very fancy kind of a store, but has a few things that we like there too. And the people there are very hardworking and very well informed and very cheerful and friendly and helpful too. So we just don't mention them because we don't do the show from their parking lot because it's not on time. But the Sprouts workers are very hardworking and very helpful. And they always seem like they're doing, you can tell they're working at the speed of light, doing the job of probably 2 people. You know how things are these days.
But do they know how to bag like?
Well, we don't expect that from anyone.
They know where to put the bananas.
You have to be 75 years old to know how to bag of groceries. But so I don't expect that from them. Oh no, yeah. Last week in Sprouts, I wear my mask in the store, and some young man said to me, I was halfway through shopping when he was putting things on the shelf, "Excuse me, but you look like, are you Constance DuQuette?" And I went, of course I was kind of freaked out, Well, and so I was stunned, and he said his first name, which I forgot. I did remember his last name, but I'm not going to tell you because I don't have his permission. Anyway, he was very nice, and he said Lon has been a big influence on his life.
Oh.
And he watches the morning show when I don't know how he does that, but anyway, so that was very pleasant, and that's not what I really want to talk about today. I had my half a cup of coffee yesterday. I am losing my voice for no reason. And that already should make you run away.
It's the gods.
Because my half a cup of coffee is, I take it with a break, and that's my inspirational time of the day when I get sort of I would say, spiritual megalomania.
And Lord help anyone that
gets in the way. Yeah, we just don't bother me for that hour. And so I got the idea that I'm kind of feel like I'm doomed here in Sacramento for a while, and I don't, I whine about it all the time and don't like it. So I think I have something to learn, and I know to teach. I don't even know. To teach is to learn, and I have had no one to talk to except you guys out there. So I thought maybe we'd do a little exercise together. Oh God. And even this morning it sounds a bit ambitious for me or hard to explain as well.
It's a good idea.
To teach is to learn. Today, what I'd like to learn, and you can join in with me and make it. It might do you some good if you need this. I know if I could actually do this for even 24 hours, it would probably do me some good. I'd like to, as an exercise, I'd like to, for 24 hours, to be unable to conceive of any idea of attacking anyone or anything. That's pretty much in thought, word, or deed,
Yeah, remember what I said yesterday about my road rage and things like that?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Anyway, because, now this is just be perfectly frank about this, I'm tired of, because of the perfectly sane idea that I would only be attacking myself because, I'm one with all of you and everyone else, as we all are. And I'm quite innocent. I'm not guilty of anything, and I don't really want to accept the rebound effect of unwarranted punishment that I would be dealing on myself. And I just want to feel better, and I want all of us to feel better. So if we could anybody wants to join me today, I'm going to try, and it will be a great struggle because I watch the news, and I do. I don't really want to attack people who misbag my groceries. I'm not that crazy, but
God, woman.
I'm not that crazy, but just try to stop blaming other people for my for my defects. So anyway, if you want to join me and just try to not in thought, word, or deed, don't be unable to conceive of any idea of attacking anyone or anything for one day.
Especially reactively. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Or proactively.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have to say. Greetings and peace.
Give it 24 hours at least. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, well, I'll remember that I'm doing this probably once every 6 hours, but.
Okay.
Well, and
that's you got a peace button on there.
Yes, I've been wearing peace buttons since 1967, and look where it's gotten us. Anyway. I am now going to depart, and Lon's going to turn the camera, and I'm going to do a nice something with it, with a tarot deck that looks quite
I got a little tarot, little tarot thing. Okay, no, I'm not looking at you clumsily getting out of the car.
I'm not clumsily.
Let's see if
I slide out like a slug off of a wet leaf.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you left a silver trail there. So. Well, anyway, that's that. And here's once again, it's Sprouts Tuesday, and things are obviously a bit chaotic. Anyway, I wanted to. I've been spending the last couple days. These things come in waves. I do read tarot cards for people, mostly. I don't want to call them clients, just mostly friends who I've read tarot cards for many, many, many years, and sometimes I go, weeks without having somebody wanting me to read their cards over the telephone, or actually it's much easier on Facebook Messenger, so I can hold the cards up and we can talk like that. But for the last week, it's I've pretty much been kind of nonstop tarot readings, and so it gets the old tarot juices flowing. And I don't. You might not understand, and I might not be able to actually explain without actually having a tarot reading session. I don't read the cards. I know the buzzwords for that I more or less just learned through osmosis over the last 40 years, but it's a different kind of thing. I'm not psychic, okay? I can't read the future, and if you book a session with me expecting me to classically read, you're going to meet a dark stranger, and they're going to give you money and you'll be happy for the rest of your life. It's not like that. I sort of want to know exactly what's going on that would drive you to want a tarot reading. Okay, it's just, I usually start off by saying, well, what has possessed you to want a tarot reading at this? And so I like to know what's going on in a person's life. And if they do have a question, I definitely respect that. And but I want to find out if that really is the question, or if there are several other more important questions behind their motives to ask that specific question. So I talk to people for a good 20 minutes, even people that I've known for a number of years, to actually see what is it you really want to know. Okay, because I more or less am comfortable with the fact that if you can bring yourself to the place where you have a question that you really, really want some more insight on, that you hit sort of a magic central button in yourself, that when you really want to know the answer to a question or some good advice, and you're at one with that desire, then the answer is already screaming at you from absolutely every direction. And it doesn't have to be the tarot cards. You have to come to the place where you ask the universe, give me some insight on what to do, about this or that. Then the answer is screaming at you from the label of a ketchup bottle. Okay. And it's getting yourself to that point where almost any observable phenomena is capable of giving you that answer. And that answer is more easily observed and apparent when you engage in something that's perfect or beautiful. It just works out that way, because you're not responding with your Ruachian meat brain. You've tuned your radio to the frequency of your neshamatic soul intuition, where you really recognize the truth when you see it. And so I'd like to get to that point. And once we get to that point, then the cards speak directly to the person that's asking the question, and I hardly have to do anything. I'll poke here and there, what I observe, but mostly what I'm observing is you observing what's happening with the cards that fall. So there's one thing I wanted to specifically zone in on today, and here is I guess for you, is a backward version of the Tarot of Marseille, the equivalent of the stick man, the original stick man, or the wand guy, I don't know how you would pronounce that, Betelieu, the magician. Okay, he's got And you can see this is sort of, the cliche image. He's sort of got the universe, the infinity symbol in his hat there. He's got one wand, one hand pointed up, the other one kind of pointed down. And he's got stuff on the table. Now, modern versions of the tarot card, overtly like the Paul case or the Waite deck, or in a sense the Thoth deck, have the wands, cups, swords, and discs. A wand, a cup, sword, and a disc, or a lance on the magician's table. But the ancient archetypal image, of the magician, there's the wand in the hand for sure. But he's got kind of weird looking things on the table, including what looks like the fool's purse, or the satchel that the fool throws over his shoulder. And you can sort of see a letter opener size kind of knife type thing. And you got a couple of cups there. But what you've got also on the table, I got a blow up of it right there. He's got 3 dice. With 3 dice, he's got the entire Kabbalistic structure of the tarot implied. Not only that, but he's got the idea that the randomness, the divine hand-guided randomness of shuffling a tarot deck for a reading is, as Einstein would say, God literally playing with dice. Because, and this is part of a thing that I did at the New York Readers Tarot School, the Readers Studio, a number of years ago. It's called Reading from a 1,232 card tarot deck. Tarot is based on the Kabbalah, or if you choose to look at it that way, okay. But this is not going to be a tarot Kabbalah workshop, but we need to discuss it a little. Because tarot works because it's perfect, and the tarot's perfection comes from its Kabbalah relationship. Did the tarot start as Kabbalah? No, I don't think. As much as I enjoy the romance of the story of a world convention of mystics that was held at the Ramada Inn in Fez, Morocco in 827 AD, I don't think that happened. Thing is, everything is Kabbalistically based. Everything. And if you work with everything, if you work with something long enough that has a direct connection, involvement of human consciousness, it will eventually shake out to iron filings along a magnetic field, like on a piece of paper. You put a piece of paper over a magnet and you sprinkle iron filings and you shake. You shake for a minute. And the iron filings spread out. They move. They're attracted to the invisible magnetic force lines. That's what Kabbalah does. It shakes things. It just shakes things into perfection. Just shake things, and they become Kabbalistic. and the idea that tarot cards and just games of pleasure with cards touch human consciousness, involve human consciousness, and over the years of shaking card games, they shake along those lines. I talk about that a lot in other things. I'm not going to get into it. But the Tarot of Marseille, the magician has 3 dice on his table. Now you're going to have to take a couple things trust me on this. But in my book, the Book of Ordinary Oracles, I lay this out and have charts and graphs and everything else. But you can, with a 6-sided die or 2 6-sided dice or 3 6-sided dice, like the magician has on his table, you can use the dice to find yourself a tarot trump, one of 21 numbered cards, and the Fool being 0 and sort of a wild card if one die falls off the table or something like that. With 2 dice, you can literally roll one of the 21 numbered trumps, and if one falls off or something, that's the Fool card. So all 22. It'd be like 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 of 4, 1 of 5, 1 of 6, 2 of 2, 2 of 3, 2 of, okay. And with 3 dice, you can draw one of the 56 cards of the Lesser Arcana. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay. So, just using dice, you give yourself you could draw certain tarot cards just by throwing the dice and having a convenient chart in front of you, or an easily to remember chart. Anyway, perfection itself, okay, is mirrored in the numeric perfection of both the tarot as illustrated in dice. Imagine that the supreme consciousness of the cosmos, the ultimate spiritual cosmological reality, could take the form of a precious stone that was cut with 22 uniquely shaped facets. 22 for the 22 trumps. Because each facet is cut differently, when we gaze into it, we can see a unique aspect of the whole stone. Such is the profound nature of each of the tarot trumps. Okay, let's see here. And I'm just there. Okay, that's the High Priestess card. Now, she's her own entity, she's her own thing, she's her own cosmological force, but she's also just one facet of the ultimate reality. So, look at it this way. There's only one supreme, singular truth. And this is the High Priestess aspect of that truth. She's not apart from it. Nothing opposes her. Nothing. No. Just one aspect. Because each facet is cut differently, when we gaze into it, we see a unique aspect of the whole stone. Such is the profound nature of each of the tarot trumps. Using this knowledge and skills you already possess, learn how to give each trump an entire minor arcana of its own. I'll say that again. Using the knowledge and skills you already possess, you can learn how to give each trump an entire minor arcana of its own. Cards that dutifully play out their elemental roles in 22 different but intimately connected drama comedies. Each tarot trump is a world of its own, one 22nd facet of the totality of consciousness, the ultimate spiritual and cosmological reality. Each of the trumps could be thought of as having an entire set of 56 minor arcana cards, which it rules with and with which it executes its particular aspect of influence. We could argue quite correctly that there are really 1,232 tarot cards, that's 22 times 56, in a complete deck. 56 cards of the minor arcana dutifully playing out their elemental roles in 22 different but intimately connected drama comedies written and directed by each of the 22 trumps. Now, is this a quote from Crowley? I don't know. Important. Although these small cards are sympathetic with their Sephardic origin, or their Sephira, the twos are all, they're sympathetic, but they're not defined by the Sephira that they belong to. So all the twos are sympathetic to Hokmah on the Tree of Life. But they're elemental aspects of it. They're not defined by Hokmah. They're Hokmah-esque, okay? The tarot cards in a complete 56 of the major arcana, although these small cards are sympathetic with their Sephirotic origin, they're not identical, nor are they divine personages. Stand by, Kabbalistic magicians. These, the small cards and the court cards, are primary sub-elements, parts of blind forces under the demiurgos. The demiurgos is the God that thinks it's God, but it's not God, but it hasn't figured out that there's three things above it that make it who it is. It's like Zeus popping out from across the abyss and looks around and says, "Hey, I must be God because I don't see anybody else here." But it took 1, 2, and 3 to make Zeus. It's sort of same thing with Jehovah. Jehovah thinks it's God, but has no idea that it came out of Ein Sof, and Ein Sofer. But I digress. Let's see, they're primary sub-elements, part of blind forces under the demiurgos, tetragrammaton, Yod-He-Vav. Their rulers are intelligences in the Yetziric world, the formation world. Yetziric world is reflected in human consciousness as our ruach, as our intellect, as our imagination, wherewith we formulate what we would like to bring into existence. Okay. Let's see. Nor is even this name, Lord of the Universe, we're talking about Yod He Vav He, though it be truly divine, are lords of the Atu of the element of spirit. Each Atu, or trump, okay, possesses its own private, personal, and particular universe with the demiurgos, and all the rest complete, just as every man and every woman does. For example, the three of discs. Now, the three of disc, if it belongs to the high priestess or the lovers, might represent the establishment. Okay, there's the establishment stuff, the creative thing, the construction of the three of discs. It might represent the establishment of an oracle, like that of Delphi. The three of discs belonging to the justice card might be the first formula of a code, such as Manu gave to Hindustan or Hammurabi. The Hierophant's three of discs might point to the construction of a cathedral. The Tower's three of discs perhaps indicating the massing of a standing army. Can you sort of follow where this is? Even specific tarot readings that you might create for yourself, or spreads that you might create for yourself involving one trump and several small cards, or mix and match, something to that effect. In this case, this is a DuQuette thing. The three of discs of the Empress could mean the construction of a love nest, or depending on its dignity, a bordello. Anyway, that's just Lon's naughtiness sticking through. The great point is that all elemental forces, however sublime, powerful, or intelligent, are but blind forces and no more. And up ahead, these blind forces, they're under the demiurgos tetragrammaton. Their rulers are intelligences in the Yetziric world who go to form the Shemhamfurish. Those are the 72 angels of a Kabbalistic system, all under the presidency of Yod He Vav He. And that's why on every small card of Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, see, right above the Goetic seal there, is the name of the first 5-degree angel of the Shemhamfurish and the second 5-degree angel of the Shemhamfurish. Blind forces. Ends up with the ideas that such pairings evoke can be an infinite source of meditation and an invaluable exercise for anyone wishing to use the cards for divination. How's that? And a lot of that information that I read that suggested all that to me is found in the Book of Thoth, specifically in the section that talks about the lesser arcana. starting with the comments on the aces. Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. Okay. I've made a mess of things today. That's it for today. Remember Constance's little exercise. When she told me about it yesterday, it was really helpful to me, especially because I spent so much time talking yesterday about curses and the wisdom or the folly in emotionally reacting, and the temptation to trigger things on a magical level, just to take care of just your own little hissy fit. Okay. So the idea of, hey, don't even think about attacking things. When you watch the news, don't think about attacking Putin or no, don't. Ultimately, even if you could, from the across the abyss consciousness, which is all of our natural, not only our destiny, but if we woke up enough, we'd realize that it is our natural state of being, consciousness-wise. We could do nothing but hurt ourselves. Shooting somebody in the foot is just shooting us in the foot. So I'm going to give it 24 hours and see if it makes me at least feel any better. So until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt, shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.